Okay. It is crypto faceless. I remain faceless. I remain nameless, guys. Back at it again. Go ahead, give me a like on the way in. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and stop the video right now and subscribe. Now, today I've got another edition of the Crypto Alpha series. Today I'm going to be speaking about top signals. Very important episode. This edition is going to be a very comprehensive breakdown of top signals, which is going to be really important, especially post halving, with the halving only a month away, and the fact that we have kind of already broken all time highs really earlier than expected. I know we're having a pullback right now, and I'm going to be speaking about that too in just a minute. But it's crucial that we stay on top of these things and keep a close eye on top signals and recognize them when they happen, guys. Right? So, firstly, let's speak about the wider market as usual, right? Let's get into it. So, the wider market, man, BTC is currently sitting at $63,000 as of the recording of this video. Dumping, everything's looking a little, even in the alts, looking a little sad, kind of like today's weather. Today's weather is a little bit cloudy and rainy. We're having a cloudy day in crypto right now. So $63,000 Bitcoin. Of course, you guys know we went as high as 73K, and we've had like a 14% dump so far. And I told you guys this in my last video. I said, guys, um, we are dumping, but let's see where we close the week. And I said that it's very important that we get a weekly close on the higher time frames to see where we're gonna go in this market. And I told you guys, if we close the week under the all-time high, then that's gonna be a bad signal, a signal that will probably go lower. If we close above, then that's gonna be a good sign. Well, we closed just below the all-time high. So we got that, that weekly close under the all-time high, and then now look at the price action, right? We were at like 68 at the end of the week, and then now we're at 63. So, it's very powerful looking at those higher time frames, not the daily closes, but we want to see the weekly closes and even the monthly closes, right? So, right now, what are the scenarios? I've been saying, like, even way back when, I say way back when, but it's probably like three weeks ago to a month ago, when we were in the 50Ks. I said, guys, we're not going to be in the 50Ks for long. When we were actually in the 40Ks, we broke into the 50K. I said, guys, we're not going to be in the 50Ks for long. And we're going to be in the 60Ks very soon, fighting the all-time highs. And, that rang to be very true. We didn't stay in the 50Ks for any significant time. We jumped straight into the 60Ks. And I said, guys, it's going to be a battle breaking the all-time high. I let you guys know that several times over and over. It's going to be a battle. It's not going to be easy. So we did shoot straight through the all-time high. We bumped up, we bumped our head up on the all-time high of 69K a few times, but we did shoot straight up to 73K. But then we didn't get the weekly close, and we shot back down. And it's a battle. It's not going to be an easy thing to break through the all-time high and get weekly closes and even monthly closes above. So it's a very big significant level. Now, because we've got the weekly close below, and at the same time, we were speaking about the pre-halving dump, the pre-halving retracement. Now, that is something that happens in every single cycle, and it's just making more sense, as time goes. We have that weekly close below the all-time high. We also we're nearing the time where we're supposed to have the pre-halving dump that we have every cycle, so it makes sense. Now, how much are we gonna dump? That's the question. Okay, that is the question everybody wants to know. Now, usually in every single bull market, we have about like multiple 30% to 40% dumps. That's typical for a bull market. But here's the thing, not in this bull market, right? This bull market, we haven't seen prices dump that much. Like, the most we've seen is like an 18% dump, and then we had a 10% or 11% and another 11%. So we had very shallow dumps this cycle. Now, will that continue? It looks like it might continue, right? That might be the theme for this cycle. We have dumps like normal, but we don't have the steeper dumps or deeper dumps, right? We have these, light retracements of, 10 to 20%, right? And that might be due to the ETF, the demand, the inflows that we're seeing due to the demand for the Bitcoin ETF, right? So do I expect us to go and have a 30 to 40% dump? I don't know, right? That is a possibility, but I'm going to give you different scenarios and I'm going to tell you which ones I think is the likely one. Now, we could shoot past the all-time high, break past 73K and forget about all of this, you know what I'm saying? That's one scenario. I don't think that's likely. Another scenario is we have like a 40% dump and we go down to like 48K, the lowest, and retest 48K and then bounce up and continue the bull market from there. I don't think that's likely. What I think is likely is we, have these lighter dumps, lighter retracements like we've been having. And I think that we've done most of it already, going from 73,700 down to 63,000 something recently. That's like a, 14% or so, close to it, percent dump. I think that pretty much we range around the lower 60s to the upper 60s for a few weeks. That's where I think that we're gonna be. That's my kind of analysis of the market. Let's say 62,000 to 67, 66,000. I think we stay in a range for the next couple weeks into the halving, maybe even a little bit after the halving, and then start to go up from there. Right? That is what I think is most likely to happen. And it's this time period in the market where either you're in cash, or you have money to actually buy up these dips, because of course buying the dips, you're supposed to buy the dips in, what I'm saying, in a bull run. That's what you're supposed to be doing. So either you have cash to buy the dips, or you don't have cash and you're just, you're gonna wait it out. You know what I'm saying? This is kind of like the boring time of the market. I should say, this is the boring time in the market the next couple weeks, unless we just break out from here and the prices go crazy. But I don't think it's gonna happen. I think we're gonna have a boring few weeks leading up to the halving, and then maybe even a little bit after the halving, and kind of like retrace this market, because we went up too fast, right? We went up too fast. We went up too way too early, way too fast, and maybe this is the reset that we needed now. All right. Anyway, that's my analysis of the market. We range in the lower 60s to mid to higher 60s, and then break out in a few weeks, right? All right. Let's get into today's video. All right, today's video is about top signal. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to break it down to 3 sections. Okay, I'm going to tell you guys about the fundamental principles of top signals. Right, these are the fundamental principles that I think you should know. Right, and then part 2, I'll speak about charts. There are some on-chain data models that you can actually use, that are pretty good at, pretty accurate at calling tops, right? And then I'll give you some real life situations, real life top signals that anybody can find, even if you're not into charts, right? You can pretty much catch these top signals. Now, all right, let's go to part 1. All right, the fundamental principles of top signals. Number 1, in order to catch a top signal, you have to be contrarian. Okay, you have to be contrarian, or like that's the only way to catch it, right? The only way to see that this is a top signal and not, and not believe in the euphoria and the hype, and you have to think contrarian. You have to think opposite to the crowd. That's what contrarian means. You're always thinking opposite to the crowd. Number 2, good news or big events that happen pre-halving are catalysts. They're good, okay? But the same events that happen post-halving are not catalysts. They're top signals. Very important to know that, guys. Any big event, any big news, anything that actually is good, right? If it happens before the halving, like the Bitcoin ETF, that's a catalyst. A catalyst is something that's going to push up the market, all right? But if the same thing happens post-halving, now we're in the danger zone. Remember, the post-halving is the danger zone. Post-halving is when your mind has to change and flip to start thinking about selling rather than buying, right? That's something that, I always preach on the channel. I've been saying this since day 1 on the channel. I've been saying, guys, buy pre-halving, sell post-halving. That's the mindset I have, okay? So the minute we have the halving, I'm not going to be selling, but my mind is going to switch from buying to selling. Now I'm in selling mode, okay? Doesn't mean I'm going to be selling like the month post halving. No. I'm not going to be selling the month post halving. But I'm saying, my mind switches to when am I going to sell? I'm not looking to buy right now. Okay, if I am going to be buying post halving, it's going to be for small trades here and there, flips and all kind of stuff, but it's not going to be long term bags I plan on holding forever, right? Um, so anything post halving, even if it's good news, it is for it is going to be a top signal, guys. All right. Number three, top signals never seem bearish. That's the thing you have to understand. They never seem bearish. In fact, they always seem bullish, which is why most people never catch them. All right. Top signals always seem bullish, right? Because there's always some kind of a good news, something great that's happening for crypto. But the problem is the timing. When is it happening? It's happening post halving. Okay. If it's happening post halving, that's a top signal. All right. So, what I'm saying? That's why it's very hard to catch. It's never going to be a bad thing, right? Top signals are never a bad thing. This is the reason why you have to be contrarian, and this is the reason why people don't catch it. It's never going to be like, all right, crypto is dead. The news told us crypto is dead, and that's the top signal. No, it's not going to be that easy. It's going to be something where the news says regulatory clarity for crypto, and everybody's going to be ecstatic. Everybody's going to be happy. We got regulatory clarity for all cryptos. Oh my god, amazing! Yeah, okay, that's the top. It's never going to seem like what I'm saying. It's never going to be bearish. It's always going to be bullish news. Okay, number four. There are multiple top signals that lead us to a top or lead us to the top. Each one that falls brings us closer to the actual top. Very important, guys. Very important. There's not just one top signal, there are many top signals. They will come along throughout the bull market, post halving. Okay. Each time we get another top signal, it's going to bring us closer to the actual top, which is why it's very important for us to sell these top signals and dollar cost average out of our investments, guys. I spoke about that in the Crypto Alpha Series episode 3, which was my profit taking strategy video. Go watch that. You get an understanding about how I'm going to be dollar cost averaging out of the market in my time frame as well. Okay. Now, the last one, selling these signals ensures that you sell around the top, not the actual top, right? That's the goal, guys. Our goal is not to sell the actual top. Our goal is to sell around the top, right? We want to get a good dollar cost average. We want to get a good sell average around the top, right? That's how you be. That's how you be. That's how you are successful in crypto. Literally, the people who win in crypto are the ones who sell around the top, right? Because there's nobody who actually sells the top. Name one person that sold Bitcoin at 69K last cycle. You don't know anybody, right? So those are my fundamental principles, guys. All right, you have to know those before we can even begin. Okay. All right, so now let's go into part two. Part two is going to be the charts. All right, let's take a look at the charts because there are some on-chain data metrics that actually are pretty good at calling tops. Okay, the first one is called the Pi cycle top indicator. All right, I'll try to link it below. I'll try to link all these charts below in the description. All right, so the Pi cycle top indicator. This is one that has been really good in the past at signaling tops, historically speaking. Whenever you see the two moving averages on this chart, when they converge or when they cross, we're around the top. All right, so there's two lines on that chart. Whenever you see those two lines cross, it always crosses around the top. It's a very good signal. All right, that's the first one, the Pi cycle indicator. Number two, the next chart is called the NUPL or NUPL. This is the net unrealized profit and loss of BTC. Okay, basically this shows how many people are in profit and how many people are in loss in their BTC holdings. Okay, so basically whenever the chart shows that the majority of Bitcoin holders are in profit, then we're near top. That's pretty much I'm saying how it happens every time. Whenever everybody's in profit or a large number of people are in profit on their Bitcoin holdings, it shows that the chart shows we're at a top. Right, so it's a very good indicator as well. All right, another one, and this is the last chart that I'll give you, is the MVRV Z-score chart. And the Z-score chart is basically the market value to realized value. All right, and the way you read this chart is basically It's very simple actually. If you take a look, basically whenever the Z score gets anywhere near 10, historically speaking, you're near top. Whenever the Z score gets anywhere near 10, so it could be, 7, 8, 9, 10, around that range, right? 8, 9, 10. If you look at the chart, you can see it always corresponds when Bitcoin is at a top. Okay, so the Z score chart, very, very, very good as well. These are my three charts that I look for as top signals in a bull market, right? These are my three charts. Now, are you going to use all these charts alone? No, you're not. You're going to actually couple them with the real world top signals that are very easy to see if you know what you're looking for. Right. So those are my three charts. I'm gonna, I'm trying my best to link them below in the description. And I want all of us to really actually, use these charts, learn these charts, and at the same time, what I'm saying, as a channel, as the Crypto Faceless family, we can hold each other to account. And what I'm saying, when these things actually flip bearish and actually show us that a top is near, I want everybody to scream it in the comments, right? So we hold each other. I'm a human being at the end of the day. I'm gonna try my best to follow my rules and my descriptions, but euphoria can get to anybody, right? At the end of the day, right? I've been very successful in other, the other cycles, but you never know, right? So we hold each other to account here on the channel. Now let me give you the real life top signals, right? Let's start with some easy ones, right? When people aren't in crypto, they don't care about crypto, but they start talking about crypto, right? There's a very easy sign to catch. This is family. This is friends. This could even be celebrities. Even like you start seeing celebrities talk about crypto, like tweeting about crypto, posting on their social media about crypto. That's a telltale sign that we're at a top, right? Your Uber driver is talking about crypto. You have that water cooler moment at work. Your colleagues at the water cooler are talking about crypto. I've had it happen. You know what I'm saying? Like there are very real world signs that you can actually easily catch a top signal, right? Because the masses of people that you see every day don't speak about crypto, but then you got your colleague at work talking about crypto. That's a sign, right? That's a sign. uh I'll give you another one. When your favorite crypto influencer becomes the celebrity. That's the interesting one. Let me explain. So crypto influencers go on sometimes they go on non-crypto shows, podcasts, interviews, whatever, right? um it actually happens. All right, I'll give you an example. Pompliano, the Bitcoin maxi. I remember him going on the Flagrant podcast, which is a podcast that I used to watch. It's a comedy podcast. It has nothing to do with crypto. But they started to get into crypto, which is a sign. It's just top signal. It's a top signal, right? These regular people who are not crypto people, they're comedians, but they're getting into crypto and they're talking about it in front of their audience, right? Not only were they doing that, they brought Pompliano on the show, the Bitcoin Maxi, right? Top signal. Okay. Immediately after that happened, the market went down. Right. Immediately after that happened, the market went down, and they had to actually bring him back on when the market dumped. They were like, "What's going on?" Like he had to explain, and it was kind of crazy. But the fact that they brought him on the first time just goes to show you, you know what I'm saying? Like that was a top signal, right? Same thing with BitBoy, Ben Armstrong, formerly known as BitBoy. He went on the what podcast? I think it was the Full Send podcast or the Nelk Boys or something like that. Anyway, it's a non-crypto, fairly big podcast, right? It was a huge podcast, non-crypto podcast at all. But they brought on Ben Armstrong, BitBoy, right? Why did they do that? Why was he on a non-crypto? Because it's a top signal, right? It's the top of the market. Everybody wants to talk about crypto. Even the normal everyday person, the retailers have joined the market and they want to speak about crypto. So always look at the things that you watch, whether it's your personal podcast or shows that you watch, uh, or influencers or celebrities that you follow or whatever the case may be. If they're talking about crypto and they never spoke about crypto before, it's over. The market is over. All right. Um, Another one's regulatory wins and legislation in favor of crypto. That's a big one, guys. If we see any kind of regulatory wins, any laws that get passed that are in favor of crypto, it's over. It's over, right? You have to be contrarian. Yes, it's a good thing, but not at this time, right? Not at this time, right? We saw that, in previous cycles. 2017, we had the Bitcoin futures ETF get accepted or passed, and that was the top of the market. That was literally the top of the market in 2017, 2018, when the Bitcoin ETF, the Bitcoin futures ETF, right? Not the spot ETF, the Bitcoin futures ETF. All right. Another one is, when big time companies start to accept crypto, it's over. That happened last time in the last, 2021, 2022, that bull market, right? Tesla started to accept crypto as payment for their cars. What happened? That was around the top of the market. It was around the top of the market, guys. So what I'm saying, anytime you see like Amazon or any like Walmart, any kind of big company say, guys, we're gonna start accepting crypto. You can pay with Bitcoin. Everybody's gonna be ecstatic. They're gonna think this is the super cycle. It's gonna last forever. This is amazing. No, it's a top signal. It's a top signal, right? The market is pretty much over if that happens, right? Another one, if big time companies, or I should say crypto companies, if they IPO and they become publicly traded on the stock market, it's a wrap. This market is over. I'm telling you guys, you have to be contrarian, man. All of this stuff is going to seem bullish, but it's not. It's bearish because of the time that it happened. All right, because it's happening post happening in the euphoric times. It's a top signal, right? Think Coinbase. This happened last market, guys. In the last bull market, Coinbase IPO'd. They became publicly traded on the top market, on the top market, on the stock market. And guess what? That was the top. Go look when that happened. Bitcoin tops right after that. Okay. Another thing related to Coinbase, which a lot of people are picking up on, is the Coinbase app ranking. This one is a good one, actually. So basically, whenever Coinbase is the number one app in the App Store, that means we're at a top, historically speaking, right? Because everybody's downloading the Coinbase app, meaning they're getting into crypto, right? Coinbase is kind of like the starter app for everybody. It's kind of like everybody gets to Coinbase, right? So whenever Coinbase is the number one app in the App Store, then we're at a top or we're near a top. Okay, so we're following that actually on Twitter. There's an account called Coin. It's at Coin App Rank Bot. Coin App Rank Bot. It actually follows the ranking of Coinbase. It shows you every single day. It's pushing higher. The overall app ranking, and it also shows you the where it is amongst the finance apps. So the last time I checked, it was like a 180 something ranked app out of all of the apps, and was ranked 14 in the finance app. So when it goes to number one, that means we're at a top, right? That means everybody's in crypto. Remember, a top basically means that everybody is in crypto, and there's no one left to buy. Everybody's already in, right? That's what a top means. Everybody's already in, then there's no other way to go but down, right? You're literally just gassed out. We're just, top signal means we've gassed out the market. Nobody's left to buy. Okay, so Coinbase app ranking is a good one. Google Trends ranking is also another good one. All right, go to Google Trends, type in Bitcoin. All right, look at the search term and look like whenever it's at a peak, it's going to show you a chart. Whenever Bitcoin is at a peak in search term, it's also usually at a peak or close to the peak in price. It always coincides, because what is Google Trends gonna show you? It's gonna show you what everybody in the world is searching, right? The number one search engine in the world is Google, right? If you look at the Google Trends for the search term Bitcoin, it's gonna show you how many people in the world are searching Bitcoin. If it is really, really high, it usually coincides with a really, really high top signal for Bitcoin, right? So that's a good one as well. All right. Another one that you can look at is, are founders selling their own coins, right? This was a good one. Vitalik and the Ethereum Foundation are known to sell the tops. You can go look it up. Go look up go look up history. They're known to sell the tops. Vitalik and the Ethereum Foundation. So some people actually use them as top signals. In 2017, we had Charlie Lee, who was the founder of Litecoin. I remember he sold his all his Litecoin right at the top. I remember I was in the 2017 bull run, and I remember when he sold it. I remember calling a friend and like, listen, Charlie Lee just sold his Litecoin. What's going on? And he was like, nah, that's FUD, man. That's FUD. And I was like, I don't know. Seems like we're probably at a top. And I was new to crypto then because I've been in since 2016. That was my first bull market. And my friend was like, that's FUD, that's FUD, that's FUD. And guess what? Literally right after that, we topped out at 20K, and that was it for the whole market, right? So, the founder selling his coins is a very big top signal. So that's a good one as well. Another one is when historic bears turn bullish, right? When historic bears, their whole life is to be bearish on Bitcoin. When they turn bullish, nah, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. They're the last straw, right? They're the last one standing, and if they fall, that's it. There's no one else to fall. All right, we've got everybody, right? A good example of that is Peter Schiff. Peter Schiff, the well-known, the famous gold bug. He loves gold. He invests in gold. He's always talking bad about Bitcoin. He doesn't like Bitcoin. He hates Bitcoin, and he loves gold, right? So Peter Schiff is well known for that. And in the last bull cycle, right when we got to the top, he finally capitulated and was like, you know what? Maybe we go to 100K, and then we go down to zero from there. So he's like, his whole thing is that Bitcoin's going to go to zero. But he capitulated at the end because we were in the 60Ks, and he was like, you know what? Maybe we go to 100K first, and then we go to zero. Soon as he capitulated, it was a wrap. It was a wrap. 69K was the top, and that was it. All right. So once the last bear, the last real bear capitulates, it's a wrap, right? So you want to look for those people who are really like historic bears. If they capitulate, it's over. It's over, right? Another one would be like, countries accepting or countries starting to buy Bitcoin. We had this in the last cycle with El Salvador. Even in this cycle, we had rumblings of Qatar buying up Bitcoin. Now, I was in Qatar, and I made a video when I was in Qatar a few months back, and I was like, Qatar. The news dropped while I was in Qatar. It was kind of crazy, right? I was joking that I actually brokered the deal, but I remember, they were talking about, Qatar being one of those countries that's going to buy up a lot of Bitcoin and other rich, of these rich, kind of Arab, Middle Eastern Arab countries as well. These wealthy Arab countries, right? If any of them or any country in the world starts to buy Bitcoin, that's a top signal. Just let you know right now. If we get the news that Qatar actually bought the Bitcoin, right, or any other country actually bought Bitcoin, that's good. Very easy top signal. Very, very easy top signal, guys. What else? There are some top signals that you can reflect in yourself. If you find yourself looking up, just sitting down on your sofa, looking at really luxury cars, looking up how you're gonna detail the car, you know what I'm saying? Like stuff way out of your means, but you're looking at your portfolio is looking like it might get there, right? These are the euphoric times, man. You're looking at a really expensive house that you're about to buy, and like you would never be looking at this house, but now that your portfolio's really up, you're looking at that house. Like you need to be able to reflect on yourself and say, hold on, why am I looking at this? I am very euphoric. This is probably a top signal. And most likely it is. Most likely it's probably a top signal. It happens every market. Your portfolio is highly inflated. You start thinking about, man, I'm going to be the richest person I know. I'm going to be the richest person in my country. I'm going to be the richest person in my neighborhood, whatever, in my family, right? And then the market just dumps, and then you're crying later on, right? You need to be able to catch yourself in these moments, man. There are real world signs that you should be able to catch yourself, right? So um, it's crazy, man. And the last one I'll give you because it's getting a little rainy out here. The last one is Jim Cramer. Jim Cramer is a top signal. The guy is he's a contrarian type of signal. Anything he says, literally, the opposite comes true. Everybody knows it, and you would think because everybody knows it that it wouldn't actually, work, but it works every single time. If he says Bitcoin's going up, it goes down. If he says it's going down, it goes up. Like every single time. You think it wouldn't work anymore, but no, it does work. It's been working, and it still works. Even in this cycle, um, Jim Cramer is that one of those guys. I think that he is the signal. he's like kind of like the signal for the elites in the in the Wall Street elites, kind of like he's the guy they look for to give them that signal, that opposite signal. That's what I believe, right? Because it doesn't make any sense every time he calls something on Bitcoin, the opposite happens every single time, right? So Jim Cramer is the last one, man. If he says, if we're like post halving, and we're like in the euphoric times, and Jim Cramer says that we're gonna go higher, sell your crypto. It's over. It's all over, right? It's all over. Anyway, guys, listen. These are my top signals. These are my principles. I've given you charts. I've given you real world, top signal situations. Now, these are not all of them. If you've got more, let me know in the comments. And when these actually do happen, I want you to let me know in the comments as well later on in the cycle. I'm not talking about right now. We're still pre-halving. We're a month away from halving, so we're not, going to even think about. We're not thinking about selling anything pre-halving, but these are all for post halving. So when the euphoric times come and we start to see these, top signals fall, I want you guys to let me know in the comments, and we can all together as the crypto faceless family hold each other to account, guys. Anyway, it is crypto faceless. I remain faceless. I remain nameless, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. I am out. Take care.